Hello everyone, it is Bitcoin Geekend. Today I want to talk about forget Bitcoin price when you trade Bitcoin. Well, it sounds like crazy, isn't it? When we're trading a Bitcoin, how are we gonna do without looking at the Bitcoin price? And it's not the thing like a mental thing, without looking at the price. Maybe we can focus on a little bit more for the fundamental. No, it's not things like that. This is actually, you need to forget Bitcoin price when you actually try to trade Bitcoin. So I hope by the end of this video, you know how to sort of, identify support and resistance for the Bitcoin without looking at Bitcoin price. So let's just take a look at that. Okay, so if we are not going to look at the Bitcoin price, what we're gonna look at that is, it's pretty simple. What we're gonna need to look at is this one, EtherUSD. So before we are going into detail, I want to just follow up a little bit of the background of the trading pairs. So we usually think that BTC USD is the major pair, and this is right. And how the Ether USD price is made of is, it's pretty much a cross pair of Ether BTC multiple BTC USD. So when you're actually trading Ether USD, you're actually trading Bitcoin USD multiple Ether BTC. So usually the thing is, Ether USD is a version of Bitcoin USD with a little bit more added volatility. If the Bitcoin USD moves, say for example 3.5% a day, you need to look at somewhere around Ether USD moves around 4.5% or 5% if that goes crazy. That's Ether USD. So let's make things easy. Usually people look at a price of sort of just price. People looking at somewhere around 10,000 US dollars or 9,000 or 9,500. That's usually the case, right? If people are looking at Ether USD, exactly the same things happens. People usually tend to look at somewhere around $200 or 250 or 300, or that could go 225 or 275. So I just want to draw a simple line, Ether USD, which is 250, right? So let me just draw the line, 250, right? Okay, so this is 250. So when the 250 is a major sort of the resistance, probably the $200 is a good point to look at it, right? So I'm just gonna add a one more line, which is 200, right? Okay. The other thing is probably if the volatility isn't high enough, just like now, we need to look at the middle line between the 250 and 200. So I'm just gonna draw a 225, which is a between 200 and 250. So if we look back a little bit the past history, this is June 2nd or June 1st. The market just hit $250 of the Ether USD. And then just came back down, and where the price comes back down to is 225, and when the price hits 225, it just came back up to 250, retested 250, and it just made a stop loss hunting down to 225, and it comes back to 250, back to 225, and broke 225, came back up, and once again tried 225, retested 250 and backs down to 225, and luckily just came back up and retested 225, retested 225, moves up and tested 250. So if only you are looking at Ether USD between the 225 and 250, it's pretty much easier to identify where the top is and where the bottom is. If you are going to trade a Bitcoin, it gives so much clearer picture when you actually look at Ether USD instead of Bitcoin, right? So let me just go to a little bit of the background. Okay, so if we go to CoinGecko and if we take a look at what exchange comes with the biggest sort of open interest is, as of now, it's BitMEX. Of course, this is the biggest derivative exchange. I mean, in terms of open interest. Right, so I'm just gonna go side by side. Okay, so this is EtherUSD, and this is the Bitcoin USD. And I want you to look at this price, open interest, and open interest of Bitcoin and EtherUSD. Right now, open interest shows a units of Ether. So I just wanna put the mouse over it, and you could see the number here, 12,547 Bitcoins of the open interest, right? So they just keep in mind, let's make it 12,000. All right, so let's just go back to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's open interest is 80,000. So 80,000 Bitcoins of the open interest when you look at the Bitcoin. Let's just compare. This is 12,000 on open interest EtherUSD, and this is 80,000 BTC. When we trade, what we need to think about is how the big whale or like a bigger money holder trying to do, right? So let's just imagine that you have a tons of huge amount of Bitcoin. Then you can sort of manipulate the market. I don't use the word manipulate, but maybe you just can influence the market. If you have enough big money, if you buy the market needs to goes up because your order is so big, and market needs to bid up. And here's the thing: if you have 3,000 Bitcoins, which is a huge amount, if you want to sort of manipulate the market, which means you want to, sort of, if the price is hovering somewhere around, you have a choice of the market, and you can buy up a Bitcoin market using your 3,000 Bitcoin, or you can buy up the market of EtherUSD with $3,000 of your holdings. Which market moves bigger? That is EtherUSD, because your 3,000 XBT consists of sort of quarter or fifth of EtherUSD's open interest. However, if you just dump your $3,000, 3,000 XBT to 80,000 XBTs, so this is, instead of 25%, 20%. This is 3 to 4%. If you have your stake of the 25% of the price movement, then maybe the price can move up to the direction where you really want. However, if you have got a stake of 3 or 4%, it doesn't move Bitcoin that much, right? EtherUSD can move more easily rather than Bitcoin. That's why usually the EtherUSD markets moves faster prior to the Bitcoin. So once again, it's not always, but if you really trade Bitcoin, it's so much easier to identify where the top is or where the sort of the support may be, just looking at EtherUSD instead of Bitcoin. Well, that's pretty much it. So if you like the video, just please push a like button, or just leave the comment, or subscribe this YouTube channel. And I'm just gonna leave the URL of my free courses. Well, this is just the past archives of all the videos with there. It's absolutely free. There's no money needed. And so if you're interested in looking at the past videos, just take a time and enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good night. Right, bye bye.